creativity in every establishment, and then we can get open mic night back. Yeah. Until then, it's a lot. Well, it's been definitely a long time I've been coming here. I'm actually gonna stand now, because it feels weird to sit like that. Here you go. Goodness. Wow. So, I've been coming here at least like 5 years now. That's a big chunk of my life to be coming to one place like consistently. And it starts getting me to think about, my childhood and everything, and just growing up in general. If you've been coming to a certain place for a really long time, I would say there's a few things in my childhood that I recognize, right off the bat that I just remembered hearing about a lot. Consistent things here and there, abandonment, all that kind of stuff. My dad told me, all growing up, this one saying, that all children, every single one of them, are born geniuses. It just takes them to bump their head a few times to get to where they are now. Now, there's a few times in my life that I can pinpoint exactly where my life changed completely. AKA, I hit my head very hard. There's a reason I'm up on stage and not a doctor. So, going all the way back to my childhood, I was a weird child. To be more specific, I had ADHD, growing up with it, And all the way back then, doctors kind of just threw medicine at you if you had something like that. I was on Adderall for up until junior high. Around that point, I realized that it made me a zombie. I didn't really have a personality when I was on it. Got off of it around high school and learned to deal with it. Then in my adult life, I like to think that I have a handle of it. It actually reminds me of a story about when I was at dinner with some friends and I was telling them about how Garfield is a very underrated movie, and they were asking me why I was bending my fork.
Yes.
Oh wait, childhood, right, sorry. I was a weird kid. And as kids do, when we get new shoes, we go, wow, I wonder how fast I can run in these bad boys. They probably make me super fast. And like I said, bumping heads, right? This is what the story's all about. I can vividly remember that there was a trailer out in front of our house. We were getting ready to go camping that weekend. And me, with my new shoes, I wanted to test to see how fast I could go. I thought I could break the sound barrier. So there was this trailer, and there was me, with my new shoes. I ran as fast as I possibly could at that trailer. I kept running, I didn't think to stop, and I hit the side of the trailer. Bang! Knocked myself out for 20 minutes. And if any of you guys know anything about brain damage, if you knock yourself out, that's permanent brain damage. So my parents kind of freaked out, but my dad is also a cheapskate. He doesn't want to pay for an ambulance, so he waits until I start coming back, right? I wake up, I start walking around, I'm doing fine. But there's a part of me that likes to think that maybe there's a version of me out there in the universe that didn't hit his head against a trailer, and maybe he's a doctor right now, not on stage at a coffee shop. But what are you gonna do, right? You just gotta bump your head a few times. But while we're on the topic of childhood and everything, and talking about, childhood memories, growing up, consistencies, my mom has always had a way of just talking to people. She has her own way. She's different. She's got a colorful language. Let's put it that way. It's a bit creative. And we call it Fontanese because she's from a little town in California, nestled into the valley, called Fontana, California. Now, when my mom was in elementary school, they got the wrong shipment of language arts textbooks, and now she doesn't know how to say things properly. I'll give you an example. Instead of milk, she pronounces it malk. Instead of roof, she pronounces it rough. Instead of human, with an H, she pronounces it human. So, there's a story, right, of this child that was born by a river, and he was in a striped basket, and a human male came and rescued him and took him to a cabin with a very stable roof. But he didn't have any milk to feed the baby, and the baby sadly starved. Now, I'm going to tell you that story how my mom would tell you, okay? Oh my God, shut up. So, there was a baby down by the creek. It was a human baby in a striped basket. A human man, a very large human man, grabbed the baby and took him to a cabin. But this cabin didn't have a very stable roof. And yet this cabin, he didn't have any milk to feed the baby, the human baby. Shut up, could you believe it? That's my mom telling the story. So, consistently, she has always pronounced things wrong. She pronounces a garbage disposer. She pronounces, oh my goodness, there's all kinds of things. An example, here we go. This is what I can do. Do you think I prepared the whole thing? I didn't prepare this whole thing. Now, honestly, I don't have a whole lot of respect for people that can't wing at least 85% of their life. But I could do this story. So, my mom, a few years back, I'm going to say like 10 years ago, my mom and dad were at dinner. It was just the two of them. She starts telling my dad a story about work. She goes, me and a bunch of coworkers were by the cubicles talking about what happened today. And my dad goes, honey, where were you guys? And she goes, we were by the cubicles. Shut up, you stupid dumb. Listen. We're by the cubicles and we were talking, and I can't believe so-and-so said this to the boss, and then this happened. And he goes, hold on, honey, I'm sorry, maybe I'm just tired today, but I'm forget, where were you? You were at work, right? And she goes, oh my God, are you not listening? We were by the freaking cubicles. My dad, the saint that he is, the patient man that he is, he could not contain his laughter anymore. And he starts laughing. He goes, honey, you're saying cubicles. She goes, no way. Is it not pronounced that way? And he goes, no, it's cubicles, honey. And, I'd like to think that my mom bumped her head quite a few times to get to the point where she pronounces cubicles. Thank you, Tonight Coffee Shop. I appreciate all of you guys.